you'll notice our bank balance is about 49 million better. Yeah? The question, my friends, is keeping in mind that we are trying to get promoted while also using the youth. Would you sign Marco Perez, the Colombian, 30 years old, complete forward, 5-star? I don't think that's entirely accurate. We've had him on trial. He played 2 games for us because we only had time to have 2 friendlies outside of playing our second team. He's 3.5 to 5-star ability / potential. I think he's really 3.5. But even with that, he's even with Simon. Would you sign Marco, or would you just say, roll with what you got? Hello, my friends. Welcome in. It's episode 2 of Rebuilding Schalke. I just want to say at the beginning, thank you for your support on the trailer and episode 1. By the time you see this, we may be over 500 views on the first actual episode. The trailer got over 300 views. Episode 1, as it sits right now, has 400. We're over 100 likes on the trailer, and we're really close to 100 likes on the actual first episode. So if you enjoy content like this, my goal this year is to get to 10,000 subscribers. Starting that first hurdle is like 6,500. We added a bunch when the first episode came out yesterday because I'm recording it the day that it happened. So hit that like button and subscribe if you're enjoying content like that. Today, my friends, I do want to review a little bit of the friendlies. We are going to take on Hamburg at home, so that's good. Season started 11 days ago, remember? Yeah, that's a thing. And of course, as we go through this, we'll talk about transfers that have happened and transfers that might happen. That being said, just a little thing. I usually have a second monitor. Sorry, actually, why did I look at the screen and go, where's the second monitor? It's on my desk right here. But it actually died. So I've had that monitor for like 12 plus years. So now I'm in like, I gotta buy a monitor. I can't get sound to work in FM. Maybe it's just me. I'm gonna like reinstall my sound drivers. So if there's any issues with this, I apologize in advance. As I noted in the first couple episodes of this series here, I'm trying to go with the feel that Schalke brings to the footballing universe, is that they are about community, diversity, inclusion, those types of things. And what is more inclusive than taking a club that is a semi-pro German lower division, right? Like that type of a club, and hosting them at your really Bundesliga quality stadium. So we brought in Vogelheimer SV, and I looked them up on Google Maps. I'm going to try to remember to put a map there for you. They are, according to Google Maps, about 11 minutes and 9.9 kilometers. Now, that's not their actual ground, I don't think, that I pulled up. I just put in Vogelheim there in Essen, Germany. And obviously, Schalke is in Gelsenkirchen, which I think is how you said it, or how you say it. I got some feedback on the first couple episodes like, hey, your pronunciation's not half bad. So still working on it, and it's not the 2 Bundesliga, but the Zweit Bundesliga. And that's from Adrian in the comments. Adrian, thanks for that. Thanks as well to all the Dortmund fans that were like, hey, Dortmund is like my family's long-held love, but I won't hold it against you. So thanks for that. So anyway, we brought Vogelheim in. We beat him 4-0. It was 3-0 after the 7th minute because we had a penalty in the 2nd minute with Marco Perez. And then he got his brace in the 5th minute. And then Mehmet Kan Aydin, let me know if that's correct as well from a pronunciation standpoint, in the 7th minute. And then it was kind of like, well, and then Marcin Kaminski picks up the creme de la creme at the 71st minute. Then we brought in Real Sociedad. That was already set up, and I didn't cancel it because I figured it must be pretty good income for us. And I just kind of want to take a look at them. They finished last season in 5th in La Liga, and the season before that in 6th. So, like, you know, trying to get a feel for, they're a decent club. Like, they're not Barcelona by any means. But I wanted us to try playing a 4-4-1-1 with the target man, and it did okay. To be honest with you, like, we created more chances in this game. I think it was like 1.4 XG to 0.79. We were just really poor. So we lined up with a 4-4-1-1, put Simon up top, and we had the chances, we just didn't put them away. So I don't know if that makes me feel any better, but kinda. Because what I'm trying to do from a tactics standpoint, let me show you the tactics we've selected here. We got Tiki Taka, 4-2-3-1. This is what we're going to use when we are up against teams we should beat. And we have our full strength squad. You can see right now over there, we don't even have a full bench of 9 players. We're going to have to bring in, pick one. Malik, sure. You could be, another player for us. Fantastic. Because again, Marco left. That's Marco's spot if he wants to come back. But the idea here is 4-2-3-1 when we're expected to win. I love a tiki-taka style. We are using Simon in the deep lying forward role rather than the target forward. But again, when you think deep lying forward, somebody hold up the ball that's strong. Now, he can't dribble, so I've given him the instruction to do not dribble and be a little less risky with your passes. I don't know if I added that or not. I can't remember if you can add that for the deep lying forward. But again, if we have to ping the ball up to the guy who's 6'4", 16 strength, not a bad look. And then we can do something with set pieces, which I have not set up yet in the actual, in our matches. So gonna try that in that type of a setup. But again, we are so thin here, right? Like Marvin can play the 10. We have a couple of backup, really just like center mids. We don't have a lot of depth other than going down into, the second team, the under 19. So if all of a sudden, like, we can't play 4 attacking players, that's why I'd like to have Marco back to where we could play like a 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1. That's what we're going to go to in the times that we need to. Again, that doesn't really save us an attacking mid because they have to drop down. But like Mark here can play as an inverted winger on the right. Again, he can cover this. It's really just kind of coverage all the way around. And Mehmet Can Adine is obviously definitely more of a winger, but we're trying to make him a right back. So that's a whole situation. If that's not an option for us, like let's say we're really hurting, we got injury, something like that, especially in these, like we can't have 3 midfielders here, then we do have a plethora of center backs that I want to try going to something like this where we want to like control a game. Maybe this is something we go to at the end of games where like we're up 1-0 or 2-0. We're like trying to see it out. Hey, let's hold on to the ball. Let's put 3 center backs in, pass it around, and that we could take that attacking player off. Obviously, another option we could do is with the tiki-taka, we could do a 4-3-3 tiki-taka because, again, like a Florian Flick, some of our center backs can also play DM. So that gives us an option there as well. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, at least to start. Now let's look at the potential transfers in. So we don't have really time to scout. Like the transfer window technically is open, I think, until the end of August. So like we have time, but like the season's up and starting. So I'm like, hey, let's try trialing you. So I am going to bring in some of my American knowledge, my U.S. men's national team knowledge into this. And there are a lot of players that are getting picked up by clubs in Europe, especially in Germany, and then either loaned out or playing in their second teams. One of those is Joe Scally. He was not interested in a trial. So like we're trying some stuff out here just to try and get a look at some of these players before we waste time scouting them. So that's kind of what's going on there, because I do think we need potentially a right back. And I want to talk through that situation here because we have the opportunity to loan Mehmet Can Adine out and use somebody else as the backup right back, because we could get enough money to kind of make that a worthwhile, loan. But I also don't want to bring in like Joe Scally and just like ruin his career because he also doesn't play. So, if we brought him in, Joe Scally here, loan offer, $600 a week. No, sorry, $2,100 a week, which I guess the board are not willing, or no, we don't have the money to. That's a situation. We'll talk about it. So we have offered Marco Perez $7,000 a week. He wanted like 8 to 12 grand, and you can't seem. I think that's kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. He trialed with us for 2 weeks, and he was more scouted than he is now. Why is that a thing? But then I realized we haven't signed our staff, and so I don't know if we can afford to bring Marco in. We've paid 1.5 grand for Helmut Beer, who is a head of sports science, 16. He's not ambitious, which I didn't catch the first time, but like, it's really odd to be unambitious but motivating and people management. Maybe he's just personally unambitious. And then we brought in Klaus Lusser as a fitness coach who we have had before. I don't know if you can see this behind my head. I can't see my recording software because it's behind FM22 right now. But he was actually a fitness coach with us from 2018 to 2020. But now he's back. I like that he's got 18 working with youngsters. Professional, the kind of coach you want to have in a squad that's going to be relying on their academy. Now let's take a look at the outs. So we have sold Leo Cinza to Juventus SP for a whopping 6.25 grand. He was one of those, in the second team. He's a Luxembourger. 1.5 to 2 star, 170 week, like that. Maybe I shouldn't even bother telling you that 6.25, but like every little bit we shave off the wage budget is going to help us potentially sign a player like Marco. We have agreed to loan out Krasniki, the Kosovoan number 10 that was going to be competing with Evan in the second team. His potential is a little bit less, and somebody came in for him. And so I think it's worth it to get him 6 months and see how it goes, to see if we want to extend the contract or if he just walks. But they're going to pay most of his wages, essentially, and give him important player minutes. So I think from a development standpoint, that makes sense, and it helps us out on that wage budget. Like, when I saw they're going to give us $725 of his wages, again, 725 plus the 170, like we're getting close to $1,000 there. That's going to help us sign a coach, right? We have rejected a loan for Evan Rotundo. I had Gordon Bell in the comments said, like, is he essentially is he fat like rotund, and like dad joke. Gordon enjoyed it. Want to keep him around. And this is what I'm talking about. Metkan Aydin, 1816 München, who are now in whatever 3 Liga is. I'm sorry, I'm sure it's not pronounced 3 Liga. They offered 10.75 grand per month. And I like this addition in FM22 with the wages 80%. It shows it all there. That's very handy. You don't have to go in and click on it. But I said no. But it tells us there might be a market for that. Like, that seems aggressive for the league below us. But whatever. And then we've loaned out Mikhail Maiden maybe? Has maybe potential to be sold on in the future. Not a bad option. He's 5'5". He is the Norwegian Leo Messi. If Leo Messi was just really determined and, had decent vision at 19. But they offered essentially 80% of his wages, 100% if he doesn't play. Again, we're carving off 550, whatever it is they offered, 450 of that. And if he doesn't play, then 550. Like, that's helping shave that stuff off. And then we have options here for Abner Alui, who is a German academy product for us. Actually, I think he's all right. Again, he's got that potential. We want to extend his contract when we can afford to. We can't afford to do that right now. And so I thought, let's loan him out and see where he wants to go. The options here, 30, 40% wage coverage. But again, every little sliver of that helps us out, and we need it. Anything else in the transfer history? Not really. Not of my doing, my friends. And then nobody on the ends, at least not yet. We also had Fabian Villafara, who is also Colombian, 29 years old. He's not 4.5 stars fullback. He's not. He's a 3-star, 60 grand a week. At the time, the analyst said he wants probably 1.4 to 2.1K, which is odd considering he earns 3.1 grand a week. But this is what I was talking about with, like, okay, so we want to use the youth academy, but we also have to get promoted. So would it be wise? Let's say this guy is just a bang average. If he'll take a squad player contract, that would be kind of the determining factor for me. If he's a 3-star, bang average, 2-year contract, squad player minutes, does it make sense to bring in a guy like that so that we have an actual right back backup, and we can put Becker on center back, or we could loan Becker out to get him some minutes, or we could actually use Mehmet Kan Aydin as a winger backup, or we could loan him to get that income and to shave off the wage budget. What would you do in that situation? So same thing. I think we need to have at least one more striker, which is why I liked Marco so much. But he is expensive. So if that fell through, do we go, okay, let's bring in a right back, and maybe, Marius here becomes our, second or third string striker, and we use Mehmet here as the right winger. I would like your thoughts on this. Leave a comment. It's important. I'm not going to be able to, this is coming out in the morning. I have essentially 12 hours to get this out, including rendering it and uploading it to YouTube so you could see it. So I won't have played a bunch and gotten through the transfer window or anything like that in between. So I know this is kind of a lot of like, this is what's going on, but Right now, we are over the wage budget. You're like, wait a minute, you have transfer budget. Yeah, that's because we dropped 375, I think, grand into the transfer budget because the board asked me, hey, what kind of bonus payouts do you want to give the playing staff, the players, if we, like the thing where it's like low, medium, or high, or low, normal, and high for the league and for the domestic cups. And so for the league, I kept it normal, that we couldn't do a high. None of this. We'd have no money. So like, I can't even believe they let me do a normal. But then the domestic cups, I took low because yes, they want us from a club vision standpoint to reach the third round, but it's preferred. We have to, it almost would be a good thing if we got knocked out of the DFB-Pokal because we could focus on the league, to be honest with you. Except for there's probably some money in the DFB-Pokal. I haven't checked that. But that gave us 375 grand. And I started going like, okay, if we dump that into the wage budget, which because we now have an offer out to Marco, I can't make that change until he either accepts or rejects our contract. But then we still have to sign staff members. So we are in quite the financial pickle. Also, I've kind of buried the lead, my friends. You'll notice our bank balance is about 49 million better. Yeah? Yeah. So that was weird. About 4 days after we took over, they took out another bank loan. So, my friends, for those of you keeping track at home, we started with 258 million. We now have 267 million of net debt. Our original debt was 205 with 190 million remaining. Now you add 53 million onto that and another monthly payment. We have 1.2 million payable per month. 1.2 million payable. If we don't get promoted, we're going bust. That is going to happen. I can't believe that. I mean, I guess you can't have a negative 58 million bank balance. That makes sense to me. I can't imagine having a negative 5,000 bank balance. So, yeah, that's what happened. These other players that we brought in on trial are just like, okay, I'd love to get another left back. This guy, again, he's 32, so would he really last? I don't know, and he's probably expensive. Yep, 10 to 15, like unbelievable expensive. And so in situations like that, that's how I'm approaching this save. And I know I've said this a couple times, so I want to make sure we're clear. If I have the option to take Kareem here, and I'm sorry I'm not going to pronounce that last name because I'm going to butcher it. Now, I know he's not really a left back, but I have the option to play him as a left back and develop him. And he's already on 2.1 grand a week. And we're financially really tight. I just don't think I can justify bringing this guy in who's 32 and not an academy product. Yes, correct. And pay him 10 to 15 grand. That just doesn't make sense. And he probably wants first team minutes, and we already have a first teamer. So a lot of this is just I'm bringing in players to see how they are. Breno here from Brazil, a Vasco da Gama player. Formerly, Bayern Munich paid 12 million for him, and he played 8 games for them. Oh, no, never mind. Then there was 13 here. 21 total games. Not the best value, you could argue. Would love to have him. But we have a plethora of center backs, and he wants 5.5 to 8 grand. So I'm kind of seeing what happens with Marco before we make any other decisions. But as you can see, we can just barely fill out a 9 sub bench because Danny Latza and Salif Sane are injured on long-term injuries. And again, I can't highlight. There we go. These three, we have 3 center backs, / one of them could play right back. A winger that plays left back, a midfielder / could play a inverted midfield right winger, a right winger who we're going to play right back, a 10 / maybe a backup striker, and another center back / DM. No depth on the left side of the pitch. It is very, very bad. And for those of you without eagle eyes, Michael Langer and Martin Freisel, we've both tried to get to leave. We've both offered them for 0 transfer fee and us paying no wages, and no one is buying. No one wants to loan them. And now Michael is upset because I told him he needs to leave. I can't get rid of these players. There was also a comment that said you should probably just gut the second team, like get rid of the staff and all that kind of stuff. We can't afford to get rid of the staff because we'd have to offer mutual terminations, which is going to dig into the minimal transfer budget we have, which needs to go into the wage budget. And a lot of these players are, that's not the right squad view, are in the final year of their contract, Or like, what's this guy? Yeah, this guy. We just signed him. And so he's like, I don't want to leave. So we're kind of stuck. Yeah. The good news is the odds setters anticipate us going up in second, 8-13 odds, and we're starting off with Hamburg, who are expected to finish 5th on 13-2 odds. So we're expected to go up with the squad we've got, despite the comments who said this is the strongest zwei Bundesliga ever. Do you agree with those? Let's go play Hamburg now that we've rambled for a bit. Well, this is interesting. We are the only game. We are the first game of the season. Yay! Put us on a pedestal. Here we go, my friends. That looks so good. I know it's licensed, and that's why. They're playing, obviously, a 5-2-1-2. I thought we would go with the 4-2-3-1 tiki-taka. I've actually told us to focus down the flanks because it should be a 2v1 situation there with the wingbacks on their end versus our inverting wingers and wingbacks. That's kind of my thinking there. Of course, they've got a 2 strikers and a 10 against our 2 center backs. So we'll have to see how Koi Itakura and Kaminsky hold up with that. We do have the deep line playmaker. There's Simon flicking it on. Oh, it's a free kick. When in doubt, punt it up to Simon. We're playing tiki-taka / punt it, I guess. But again, they if we can pin them back with our pressing, right, then hopefully we don't have to deal with as much of the 3 attackers against our 2 center backs, because that could be a problem. Again, I thought about doing the 4-3-3, but said, hey, we practiced this. Is he in? It's Darko. Oh, good save. It's a free kick. He was offside. Okay, fair play. Oh, the clock and all that up at the top looks so good. This is the first time I've played a match in the Bundesliga with it being licensed with Football Manager. Again, if you're enjoying this content, hit that like button over there and subscribe if you're new. If you would like to experience this disappointment. Oh, Ralph, man, I think you could have done better with that. But I mean, you knocked it out. So the FM22, the price has gone back up to normal, but you can still get 10% off. Oh, dearie me. The regular price by using my affiliate link in the description below with 2Game. You just have to use code GRAYHAIR when you check out. Make sure you do that. Also, I will give a shout out here at the end to some new patrons that joined. Thank you so much for your support. It means a ton. All right, here's Thomas. Marius. Thomas. Kaminsky. Okay, nice. Nice, we're passing it around. You know what I'm missing here? It just hit me that I like to have my match stats, my friends. Where's my match stats? Okay, I feel like I've lost my mind here because I feel like I can normally have the match stats up, or maybe it's just that it's usually key highlights, so there's more of the tablet look, and that's got the match stats on it. Okay, lovely interplay there. Renftl plays it in. Oh, who is that? That was... I'm not sure who that was. Was that Drexler? It wasn't Simon, was it? And I wonder about their attacking 3 versus our backline. Itakura is on a 6.4. Oh, that felt like a red card type highlight. The way he was waltzing up behind him was not making me feel very comfortable. Okay, plays it out wide. Wagnermann plays it back in. Oh, I thought we were going to intercept that, but Mefert steps inside. Schonlau. Okay. Oh, stick a foot in. Stick a foot. Okay, plays it all the way back. Keeper's way off his line. That's a nice supporting role there. That wasn't exactly a pressing masterclass. They play it through the middle. Ralph's off his line, and we concede at the death of the first half. Just gonna say ignore for now. It wasn't very good. Oh, that's like the last kick too. It was an even game up until that point, till that one mistake. Again, that's the 3. So I go, should we have just played a 4-3-3 or something like that? What was that? Get your act together. Has nothing to do with the tactics. Nothing at all to do with the tactics, my friends. Okay, if it happens again, though, I think we might need to make a shift. because they have been a bit on top of us. We don't really know. I mean, in all fairness, we don't really know any tactical style because there was literally 11 days before the season. Oh, it's going to be a pen. He's outside the box, I think. I mean, if you're new around here, a penalty decision is the most classic GHG thing ever. Oh, no penalty. Get in. But a set piece that they'll head in. Ooh, goodness. I think Koi Itakura has got to come off. He's on a 6.3. He was on a 6.4, so the first minute and 39 seconds has gone quite poor in the second half, I think you could say. Okay, here we go. Zalazar, which is a name. Reinhold Ranftl. FTL. Ftl? Ranftl? We'll take it. No complaints from this guy. Lovely little animation there. I do think... Okay, I thought it was going to be... I don't want every replay to be from behind the goal, but that one, obviously. We're going to take... Oh, nope. Back to a 6.5. It's Darko now who might be the substitution option. I think he's going to be. What are we going to do here? Oh, dear. So instead, it's going to be Mehmet Katan Aydin, who's not really an inside forward or an inverted winger. Can we play tiki-taka with a winger? I think we're just going to tell him to keep the shape. And if we need to take him off or to bring him back to right back or something like that, we can. Oh, Marius is... This is what I'm talking about. There is no... Who do I have that can play on the left side here? Dominic Drexler, who then... I mean, it's like we got no... Everybody who can come in is nervous. So, okay, here's what we'll do. All right, so here's what we've done. I paused it so I could get this all sorted out. We brought in Malik, again, Academy prospect, as a deep line playmaker. Not really a deep line playmaker, but we're doing tiki-taka. Would it be better to just play him as a DM or an anchor? Maybe we just do that. I thought I had it sorted out, and then just tell the wingbacks. I'm fine with the wingbacks doing that. Because now we've got 3 to deal with 3. And then Victor on a box-to-box. Zalazar goes to a roaming playmaker because that's his favorite role. We still need a playmaker, so maybe he can take some of the space up here and interact with these guys. Oy vey. How are we so tired? We played, a friendly like 3 days ago. Drexler's now tired as well. Backline's not loving life. I think we get 5 subs. It's like 5 from 9, which seems also aggressive. All right, bringing in Flick as the ball-winning midfielder. Andres as the center back, bringing Malik back down into the ball-playing defender role. That's 4 subs. Everyone that we're taking off is nervous or apprehensive, and we only got Marvin, who's apprehensive, Mark, who's nervous, and Timo Becker and Karim as our potential 5th sub. So, lovely stuff. I'm going to encourage the lads one more time. We'll see how it goes playing this 4-3-3. Yeah, I think we just see the game out. 12 shots, 7 on target. I think for your first game in a system with minimal preseason against a team considered to be top half, 5th. If we look at the numbers, we should have won that. So despite the result, trust the process. We'll be successful if we keep that up. I want to be it's first game of the season. Let's be positive. It's fine. All right, my friends. That's gonna be the only other thing we do today is looking forward to the DFB-Pokal. We get 175 grand for appearing in the first round. It goes up to like 351 for the second round. So that win does become kind of important for a club that is 267 million euros now in debt, and the draw is in 2 days, so I'm going to take you there so we can find out who we take on. All right, my friends, let's do the draw and see who we get. I'm not even sure what the options are here. It looks like it could be bad. There are some Bundesliga teams in it. Now, there may be some rules that I don't know about that you know about. Before we get to that, though, 3 new people have joined the patronage. Thank you for your support. I'm going to do my best to not butcher your names. I'm going to do them quick here. Pim Lettenmeyer, David Yarborough, and Philip Paradises. Thank you for your support. We're actually up to, I think it's like 39 patrons, and 3 people on YouTube membership, so we're to 42. My goal is to get to 45 by the end of the month. That would be insane. Thanks for your support. Let's just draw all the teams. I don't think we need to make it dramatic. Let's just go. Yes! We got Beirut. I saw Bay, and I was like, oh no, Bayern. But no, that is a golden, lovely Dortmund-esque color from the Regionalliga Bayern division semi-pro team founded in 1921. Whoa! They've got somebody on $3,200 a week. How? I mean, right? You're going like, okay, like that's you want a semi-pro. How is a semi-pro team paying a player $3,200, $1,400? That's not bad wages for us. Did they get like hold on? Did they get relegated? What? Someone in the comments explain that to me. That seems not bad for semi-pro work. I'm used to like Sterling Albion in Scotland's League 2 semi-pro wages, and that's not. I don't think they're that high. That's crazy. So that's who we have next, my friends. That is an away match for us. I'm gonna go play Holstein Kiel, and then we'll come back for that. Let me know your thoughts on some of those transfers, the trialists, and the balance of youth academy versus bringing in players now, if we can afford them. That's the other thing that's depressing, is when your scouts are like, sign this player no matter what the price. And I'm like, I just really want to have like a little sign or like a business card I hand out that I just hand it to him. It's like, have you seen the bank balance? And then follow up with another business card. It's like, have you seen the transfer budget? Have you seen our wage budget? The answer is no. Maybe next year? Like it's just like a card game. Maybe we should do that. All right. Hit that like button, my friends. Subscribe if you're new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Next one will be out 9 o'clock tomorrow. We're rolling through these. Keep the momentum going. Can we get to another 100 likes? That would be insane. Bye-bye.